One of our agents here, I learned from the best because why reinvent the wheel? But his intention is to get referrals. He's not even worried about the sale, the customer in front of him. He wants to make sure that he's delivering impeccable customer service so that they are referring him clients. And so that's, my standard too, is to just treat them really well because I know that they'll refer me out.
Hey everybody, I am Raul Gonzalez.
And I'm Oscar Ibieta.
And I'm Natalie Gamez.
And we are all Medicare Agent IQ. And so the reason that we do this podcast is we know that there's agents out there that might be struggling, selling Medicare, selling insurance. And so even agents that are just trying to stay strong and trying to make sure that they're doing all the things in the right way. That's what the point of this podcast is for. And so we're back, and really what we'll say is we fast forwarded a week. We've time traveled a week. And so Natalie is back, and we are going to do some cool things to kind of help agents kind of get inside one of Natalie's appointments without actually having to do it. So we're going to do a couple of different role plays, and so that way we're able to talk a little bit about how you might be able to do it if you're an agent. So one of the questions that I have for you is, if you're doing an event, let's say that you go out and let's first of all, let's say it's a big event, because those are the ones that cost money, right? You do a big event where you get 100 lead cards, and you go out there and you do something, or even 50. How soon afterwards are you calling them?
Right, as soon as possible. So really, I'm leaving that event, depending on what time of day. Usually they're morning or mid-morning, and maybe grabbing a bite to eat and getting back to the office, and I'm dialing the leads.
Okay, and so let's just say that it's the next day. It's about 4 p.m. and you had 80 leads to dial. How many would you say that you have left at that point?
Probably. I mean, I've called through all of them by that point, usually. But
You've called all 80 leads by this point.
I think so, because to be honest, a lot of them aren't going to answer. Right. Maybe the number's incorrect. So you can go through those leads pretty quickly.
Okay. Mm-hmm. It's funny because I've talked to agents at times where we're like, hey man, it's like 3 days later. So what did those leads say? Oh, well, I still haven't gotten to call every one of them.
Or I've gotten through maybe 5 or 10.
Yeah.
Of that long list, and here we are 3 days later. They haven't even contacted the remaining 40.
So Natalie, one of the things that people might, or I guess one of the excuses, I would say, I don't want to call it excuses. Everyone has their reasons.
We'll say a quote unquote reason.
Yeah, reason. Yeah.
Right.
But one of the reasons that people give on that is, well, I had a bunch of appointments later on that day. How come that doesn't happen to you?
Well, that is one of my appointments.
Okay.
I schedule in the time that I will set aside to dial those leads.
That's such an important note. Like, put it. You got to schedule yourself out. Close out. I'm not running appointments or taking customer service calls during that time. That's my time to call these leads.
Yeah, I have an appointment. It's with the leads.
Okay, I love that. So we're gonna do a quick role play of. Okay. So here's what it'll look like. Okay, so you did an event at a movie theater. Okay, and I was one of the people who came and I was there to watch a movie, but I did fill out and I gave permission to contact, and so now you're calling and I am the customer.
Okay.
Or potential customer. Okay.
Any idea how old you are? Or?
I am. Well, I'll tell you when you call.
Okay.
But I'm a senior.
That's all I have on the lead card. Okay.
That's all. Yeah, because remember on the lead cards we don't collect age or
registration.
on the registration form. Yeah.
All right.
Do you ever ask, real quick before we jump into it, when you're for this particular event, right? You're at the movie theater. Do you ask and try to get any information to feel out, or do you wait until you actually make the phone call, or would you say, hey, what insurance do you have?
Yeah, let's backtrack right now. I appreciate you bringing that up, Oscar. Let's backtrack a little bit and let's be at what does it look like when you're collecting names and doing that type of thing at a large event like that?
Right. Well, it really depends on the amount of people there, because if we've got a line out the door, which sometimes is the case, then we're getting the most basic information.
Right.
But as I've noticed as registration goes on, we get most of the folks into the theater, and now I have a little bit more one-on-one time. So I'll have more of a detailed conversation with the clients that have kind of like sprinkled or trickled in at the end. So yeah, it just depends.
Okay.
So it's a judgment call. So, okay, so early on when there's a line out the door, you're getting the basic information, name, phone number, permission to reach out to them. Well, now let's say you've gone through the entire line and those stragglers are coming in. Now you've got a little bit of one-on-one time. What does that look like with that individual? Raul gets there and he's ready to check in, and you say, okay, give me your name and what's a good phone number. At that point, are you asking what insurance do you have?
Yeah, so we help out with Medicare health insurance. How's your plan working out for you? Which plan do you have?
I have United Healthcare.
Great. And how old are you?
I just turned 68 last month.
Okay, so maybe have you had this plan for a few years?
Oh yeah, since I turned 65.
How's it working out for you?
It's good.
Good.
Yeah,
And is there
any
anything
problems with it?
Anything that you wish that you had that you don't right now?
I mean, not really. The only thing I know, I have dental, so I probably should go see my dentist. But
Okay, sounds good. Well, that's exactly what I can help you out with. United Healthcare is one of the insurance companies that I represent. So maybe we can schedule time to sit down with you. I'll be in your area here tomorrow. Is 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock better for you?
We could probably do morning. Do you know how much dental I have on my plan?
But I probably do. I don't know exactly which plan you have.
Okay.
If you happen to have your card with you, let's take a look. But that'll be something I certainly visit with you about tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, the morning is fine. Let's meet at 11.
Okay, great. We'll see you then. And then, of course, get name, date of birth, name and address before then.
Do you? Yeah. So you've gotten their name, you've gotten their address. Are you? It's 1 day away. Are you just going to show up? And I've already given you. We've set the time. We've set the date. I gave you my address. Are you coming right at 11? Are you calling me to tell me you're on the way? Are you going to call me later that day and say we'll see you tomorrow? Well,
no, that's going to give me an excuse to cancel on me. Yeah, no, I'm just showing up at our assigned scheduled time.
Date time. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
You get there and they turn you away at the door. How's that? Okay, so knock, knock.
Hi, Raul. This is Natalie Gamez. Remember me from yesterday?
Oh yeah.
How are you doing today?
Oh, not so good. I'm not feeling great.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I forgot about this appointment.
Oh, that's okay. It'll just take a few minutes. I've got you down on my schedule anyways. I'm here. So why don't we just sit down and visit for a few moments about, you had mentioned some interest yesterday in dental. I just want to review your plan with you and see how I can help you out.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I think that would probably be, I wouldn't give much pushback after that. If they did give you more pushback, no, I really needed to go. What do you do at that point?
Yeah, at the end of the day, if the person just doesn't feel well, I mean, we're not going to push too hard. But a lot of times they think it's going to take a long time. They're concerned you're going to try to sell them something. But truly, we're trying to get in and out.
Right.
And I'm there to help review their plan. And then there may be opportunity for me to help them at that point in time. But I am there, regardless of the sale or not, to review their benefits with them.
Right. Okay. So regardless, you're going to review.
Yeah.
And so if it doesn't even turn into a sales opportunity and they say, hey, I was just curious if you could give me some advice on how to use this benefit, you're going to go ahead and you're going to give them that review.
My job and my thought process, my mindset is to go in and help the client. If you go in there, you're going to sell a vacuum, you're going to sell an insurance policy, you're going to sell, I don't think you're going in there with the right intention. We are in this field to help the senior citizens, and our job is to help them. So if I come out of there with a sale, great. If I don't, I know I'm going to leave them better off than when I first got there.
Okay. Delivering that high customer service. That's what we talked about last week on last week's podcast. Was I'm going in there and I'm going to try and help people.
Yeah.
So,
And one of our agents here, I learned from the best, because why reinvent the wheel? But his intention is to get referrals. He's not even worried about the sale, the customer in front of him. He wants to make sure that he's delivering impeccable customer service so that they are referring him clients. And so that's, my standard too, is to just treat them really well, because I know that they'll refer me out.
Okay. So, and you're talking about even when you're doing that review, you're okay. Wow.
Because sometimes we leave them on the same exact plan that they're on. We are never going to switch their plan if it's not going to benefit them. Man. So a lot of times it's just, just reviewing their current benefits, because guess what? Newsflash, the plans change every year. So do you think that they're going to call me again next year, even though I'm not their agent? Of course they will, because they liked me, they know I care, and I'm there to help them. So if I didn't get the sale this year, maybe next year, or maybe they'll refer me out to their friends and family.
I loved it. I love to hear that, and that's very much what my heart is usually with people. Like, I don't want to make a sale just to get a sale. I want to make sure that I'm putting them in a better position every single time, and that I'm not just doing this with my own interest. I feel like, and this is obviously the way that you're living, is that your success will come. You're going to worry about taking care of people and putting them in the right position, and you know that financially you're going to be taken care of because you're doing all things in the right way, right?
Absolutely. And these clients, they can see through you very quickly if they know you're just in there to sell them something.
Yeah. Hey, Natalie, do you focus on the low-income community or on the very high-income community?
Low income, that's where my office is out in the west side of San Antonio. So it's the heart and soul of our city. But I have high-end clients as well.
Okay. Do you treat them any different? Like, I've talked to people where they're like, well, you got to treat these really wealthy people very well. Tell me, do you treat them any different?
Nope. A client is a client. So I offer them the same service. Now, some clients, I'm going to be able to offer more resources and get them in touch with more folks because they need more help. But the delivery is the same, regardless.
It doesn't matter about your financial situation. You're going to treat every single person with dignity and respect that they deserve.
Exactly.
I love to hear it. Let's do another one real quick. And so I've submitted a lead card. Okay, and all it said is that there's a Medicare open enrollment period. I'm turning 65 here in about 3 months, and there's a lead card, and I sent in that response. You're the agent, and you're calling me right now.
Okay, all right, let's do it. So ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Mr. Gonzalez. This is Natalie Gamez calling with Texas Medicare Solutions. How are you today?
I am. I'm okay. I get a lot of these calls every day, huh?
I hear you. But let me tell you this. So I'm a local agent. My job is to help you out. You had actually contacted us. You filled out a form stating you were looking for information on Medicare health insurance plans. I'm here to help you. My job's just to review the information with you.
When did I?
Yeah, it was probably a couple weeks back, but it just came across my desk here today. And I'm going to be out in your area here tomorrow and Thursday. Which day would work better for you?
Man, to be real honest, I'm pretty busy right now.
Golly, and so am I. I actually have about 100 of these cards that I have to reply to, and my job is to just get the information to you, and then I can go about my day. What would be better for you, 11 o'clock tomorrow or 1 o'clock?
Well, tomorrow definitely doesn't work.
So Thursday would be better? Thursday, let me see if I can squeeze you in here. I could do a 9 or 11. Which would be better for you?
Do you have a 6 p.m.?
6 p.m. Let me take a look. Yeah, but I can do that. I might be running a little bit earlier, a little bit late there, but 6 p.m. we'll see you.
Well, I won't get home until about 5:45. So if you're running early, it's probably not going to.
That's good to know. Absolutely. No problem. I look forward to seeing you then. Don't forget, I'll be coming by tomorrow, 6 p.m. My name's Natalie Gamez, and I look forward to meeting you.
All right.
Thanks so much.
I saw a lot of great things in that, and I just, do you have any takeaways from that?
No, go ahead. I'm going to listen to what you've got.
Yeah, just there was a couple of things, in really kind of, I'm going to say not letting up, but when I say I'm busy, you're like, man, I understand, I am too. I've got like 100 people I'm trying to call here, and there's so much that's happening in that where you're explaining to them like, hey, I'm super busy also. I'm not going to try to waste your time. I can completely relate. And that's conveying a lot with just by saying, yeah, I'm super busy. I always got 100 people I'm trying to get through.
I'm not lying. I've got 100 leads I got to get this information to. So.
Right. And the other was really not relenting on setting an appointment. And what it comes down to is like when people say, well, no, neither of those times are going to work, you immediately throw out another time. And for me, that goes a really long way, because people are looking, really what I'm looking for in that as the buyer is a way to get out of meeting that. And I want to just give some clarification on that. When I say that as the buyer, there's people talk about like kind of the buyer-seller feud, right? There's this, and I do it myself as a consumer, where I will tell people no, and that's a natural thing for me to do. And so when I say ask open-ended questions, I'm not saying to trick people into saying yes or saying no when they mean yes, or vice versa. But what I'm saying is that you gotta get people to listen and kind of disengage from this. I'm just trying to not have to be sold. Right. And so you do a great job of that. I thought it was awesome. Did you have any feedback or any thoughts?
I thought it was good. I think it's good that's the role play, the scenario that we did just now, because a lot of times I think sometimes agents have like false expectations, and they're thinking, okay, well, this person filled out this lead card. Surely when I call them, they're just going to be super receptive to my call. So when Natalie calls, hey, yeah, I've been waiting for you to call. Yes, I'm turning 65. I'd love to meet. When can you meet?
Right.
And the reality is that's not how it goes.
Never.
And I'm constantly telling agents, like, hey, don't just remember, these people that are turning 65, they're getting bombarded with mail. They're getting bombarded with phone calls. And so you're just one in that large pile. And so the reality is that's not the way that it's going to go. They're not going to pick up the phone and say, yeah, sure, come on over. I can't wait for you to get here. It's not what it is. It's you've got to be relentless, and you've got to, be somewhat assertive and try and set that appointment. And I think that's the difference between the ones, the agents who get a lead like that and they're able to convert it, and the agents who are not able to convert, and then they come back and say, yeah, those mailers don't work. No, I never have any luck with them. They never pick up the phone, or they always say that it's the wrong number, or that I filled it out by mistake, or I didn't fill it out. But that's the truth is you continue to work it, you dial it. How many times, so let me ask you a question. If you got that card and they're asking you to reach out to them and give them a call, what does it look like if they don't answer the first time around? What's your follow-up like? Are you dialing later that day? Do you kind of put it back in at the bottom of your list and you come back to it? How do you
Yeah, I'll usually double dial. So because nowadays they may not recognize your phone number. So I'll double dial them and then let it rest while I call through the other leads, and then usually that next day is when I'll call them again.
Okay. And then if he doesn't answer...
Hold on real quick. Yeah. Just explain double dial real quick to me. You do like immediately?
Right, immediately. They don't answer the phone, so I'm dialing again right away.
Well, because a lot of us have it on Do Not Disturb, right? Right.
Do you leave a voicemail?
No, I don't leave a voicemail.
Okay.
No, because nobody calls voicemails back. Certainly not leads,
Yeah. And then the next day, so, and again, I'm asking you these questions because I don't want to deliver all these hypothetical and these easy situations. If they're not answering the second time or the next day, are you just the next day?
We'll call back the next day, and I will make notes on the lead of when I called and what time of day I called as well, like what day and what time of day. Yeah. That way, because maybe they work during the day, so maybe I call in the evening. So try to switch it up. If I'm not having luck, you don't want to call every single day during lunch because they may, not have their phone on them. They may be at a work event. I maybe call them at night.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to call too late either, because we're not calling at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m., but it's okay to call after hours. Yeah. It really is.
So change up your dial time, right? If you're working leads and you know that, hey, I'm going to spend the morning dialing leads and they're not answering, change it up. Don't just spend your mornings dialing leads and then move on. Maybe the next day, dial in the afternoon. Take time out in the afternoon when you're running in between appointments, when you've got some downtime, you're looking for something to do, dial some leads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, let's do another role play here. And Oscar, you will be the client. You are whatever situation you want it to be, but you're calling her. And really what we're trying to help people to understand is, what does it look like? How does Natalie respond? Because there's a way to respond when somebody's calling you and they're a hot lead. Like when I first met you, just rejecting the call, probably not going to get you a lot of places, right? So Natalie's going to demonstrate. And again, what we'll say is that there's no right or wrong way. I would say there's definitely wrong ways. So let me backtrack there. There's definitely wrong ways, but as far as style, everybody has a different style. And I always talk about learning from other people and then making it your own. It's got to have your own DNA on it, otherwise it won't be authentic. So watch the way that Natalie does it, and she might say something that, oh man, that's not how I would say it, and that's okay. The point here is you're learning and figuring out other ways to have this conversation. So if you would, Oscar, you are the Medicare beneficiary or possible Medicare beneficiary that's calling Natalie, and Natalie, just kind of like what that conversation looks like. Let's even get to a role play where if you're asking for the address because you got to get there, let's make it as if it's a real call that you're getting right now.
Okay.
Cool.
And is this a mailer?
No, it's a phone referral.
Phone referral.
You signed somebody up, and they referred me over to you.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Ring, ring. You're answering the phone.
Hello. Hi.
Let's reset that. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm calling you. So ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this Natalie?
Yes. Hi. This is Natalie, Texas
Hey.
Medicare Solutions. How can I help you?
Hey, Natalie. My name's Oscar. I was referred to you by my sister, and she said that I should call you because you could help me with my Medicare. Are you able to? Is that something that you can do?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for calling. So that's exactly what I can help you out with. You mentioned your sister referred you. Who is your sister?
Gabriella.
Gabriella. Awesome. How's she doing?
She's good. She's good. She's still a pain in my rear, but she's there. Yeah, I had lunch with her yesterday, and she was telling me that you helped her with her Medicare, and I haven't been able to find my card, and so she said that I should give you a call and that you'd be able to help me with it.
Yes, well, she's so sweet to tell you about me. Please tell her I said hello. But absolutely. So I'm a broker and I represent different insurance companies. I'd be happy to help. The first thing that we would do is schedule time to sit down and review your benefits, see what I could do to help. We have several options, and just answer any questions that you have.
Okay.
So what's your week look like?
Well, I'm pretty open, but I think I'm okay with my benefit. I just need to order my card. I have Humana, but I can't find my card.
Sure.
And I haven't been able to check it. She said that you might be able to help with that.
Yes, I can. That's one of the things I'll help you with. We can even just review your benefits, see how you're doing with everything. Depending on the plan, you may have dental, vision, hearing benefits. So depending on what your schedule looks like, maybe tomorrow we could visit either 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock. Which would be better for you?
Yeah, I think after lunchtime, so we can shoot for 1 o'clock.
Okay, great.
Do you
great.
have an office, or are you able to come
Yes,
here?
yeah, absolutely. Whichever you prefer, you can visit us in our office, or if you prefer, I can visit you in your home. What's your address?
It's 123 Easy Street.
Okay.
And that's in the zip code is 78214.
Okay, awesome. Got it. Well, that's not too far from us. So tomorrow we'll see you at 11 o'clock. I look forward to meeting you then.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yes, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Awesome. And cut.
All right. I love the one key thing for me is how did you hear about me? I think that goes a really long way, and a lot of times agents forget to ask that. It's weird to me that I'll ask an agent like, hey, how did that lead come about? How did they hear from you? Like, oh, you know what? I didn't think to ask. I think that's an important thing to always ask for a couple reasons. One is you want to be able to thank his sister for sending that referral over. I think that goes a long way, is picking up the phone when someone gives you a referral and letting them know how much you appreciate it. I always when I was an agent, when I kind of backed away from selling, I would talk to a client. They were like, "Hey, did you see that my sister called you or something?" And I remember just feeling so embarrassed that I never called and thanked them. But it was just because I wasn't very active in selling anymore, and so I was kind of wrapped up doing 10 things at once. But as an agent, I think it's very important to make that call. Is that something that you do also?
Absolutely, yes. And not only that, you want to thank the referral, but you also need to remember, if you put the sister on, let's say, United Healthcare, and if this brother says, I'm open to any option, then maybe chances are you'll put him on United Healthcare as well. Because by putting him on a different plan, or I guess in this case, Humana, then now you're kind of working yourself harder than you need to, because now you have to go back and they're going to tell the sibling, well, they put me on this plan, and so then now you have to go and tell that client, sibling about the other plan. So just making sure that there's uniformity.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so if it's an older client, someone that was 3 years ago, and they're calling you today, is that when you use your CRM to?
Yeah, absolutely. As the client's giving me the information, I'm also looking at the siblings' information and what plan they're on, and so I can kind of get an idea and maybe work around that. Because oftentimes the reason they referred you over is because they like what they have, and so chances are you're going to put them on same plan or similar type of plan.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a big piece. I think when one takeaway there, the reason that I was calling you was because I misplaced my card. And you could have easily told me, oh, just call the number on the back of or let me get you that phone number, right? They don't have the card, so they can't call the number on the back of their card, but let me get you this phone number and give them a call and they can help you order a card. But really you looked for the opportunity there. And that goes back to what you said, right? My job when I go into homes is to help people. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to help them. And if there's an opportunity to put them in a better place, then I will. And that's really what your mindset was when we start to break it down. When we start to break down the phone call, that's what it was. That, you just said, I'm going to come over and I'm going to help you out. And then if there's another way that I can help you even more, then I'm going to do so.
Yeah, a lot of times they don't even know what they have until you review the information with them, and then now it opens up the doors to be able to assist them with a different plan or use their current plan more. And again, you're leaving them better off than when you first met them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the way that you're calling. I love the strategy. It makes a lot of sense why you've been so successful. So we're going to be wrapping up here pretty soon. I had a question for you. If you were a brand new agent, or two questions, if you could go back right now and do anything different, what would you do today that you would have done when you started if you could kind of change things?
Yeah, from the very beginning, be as organized as possible. Okay. I've gotten really good at that now in terms of keeping track of clients, their name, date of birth, address, because as silly as that sounds, some clients don't have that readily available at their fingertips. They remember a client and they can't really remember the name, and they didn't actually log the information. So you want to keep track of your clients and also linking your clients. Depending on your CRM, you can link husband and wife, sibling. So remembering that they called you for a reason and having those connections, because again, you're creating more work for yourself if you're not being as organized as possible.
Okay. So organization, a little bit more about what that organization looks like, because I want to understand, besides the CRM, anything else that you're doing organizing, like leads or?
Yeah, absolutely. So for example, our registration forms, I'll keep them together in folders based on the events, and so I can go back and review those. I also will take information, so basic information on the client, and enter that into the CRM. So from the very beginning, just putting as much information down on paper or computer as possible.
Okay. So you said registration form. So you're like, this is you when you went out and worked an event, any leads that you collected at this particular event. When you're done with that event, you go back to the office and you put them in a particular folder. And the name of this folder is movie theater event from May 25th. And
exactly.
Is that what
because you may have some downtime in a few months, and what can I do? Oh yeah, I can call the leads that I wasn't able to get in touch with because they may really have been out of town, or it may not have been the right time. But a lead is never too old to call. So. Yeah. I mean, technically, yes. You want to stay compliant. But in other words, some clients say, "Well, that was from last week. They didn't answer then, so I'm not even going to try them this week." Just being relentless with it. Yeah.
Officially, leads are now 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year.
Yeah. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago on there. There's been a change that has been made, and so just officially it's 1 year. But that's good also within your organization, right? You like with the way that the rules are, you want to make a note that that's a year. And when I say it's too old, that's to call. Mm-hmm. So it's never too old to send mail to. And if you're doing a good job, I would also kind of collect those leads. And if depending on the amount of time that you have, I would put those into a spreadsheet or even into your CRM and say, these are people that didn't get sold. But now I can send a mailer on a regular basis. Now I've got a built mail list that I know of people that are actually Medicare eligible. And there's going to be people who are under 65 on that list. And it's very hard to get a list of people who have Medicare who are under 65. So I think that could be super helpful as well.
Absolutely. And the logo, just marketing yourself. I have little stickers with my picture on it, and that's how I'll seal the envelopes just so the client can remember me. So just little things like that I wish I would have done early on, but that way the client always remembers who I am.
Yeah, is it important to kind of keep up with your pictures?
Well, listen. If it's a good picture, you can ride that picture out into the sunset.
Just kind of a joke is like for a lot of us, we take a picture and then we never go back to it. I think so it's kind of an inside joke, but what I will say is it is a good idea to maybe get that updated. If you're an agent that started at 25 years old and you're now 35.
Can't be carrying around the same business card, right?
Exactly. So yes, it is important to update.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Natalie, just want to thank you again. You have been a big part of our agency for so many years and a blessing to work with. So just want to thank you for taking the time to be on our podcast and to share with people all over the U.S. and what you've been doing to be successful. So thank you again.
Well, thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you have any questions, again, I'm sure Natalie will be back. Feel free to send us a direct message on any of our social media, whether it be on YouTube, whether it be on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Send us a message or a DM, and we're glad to answer any other questions that you have. So until next time, thank you so much.